Welcome to Tales of the Lesser Medium, a podcast that pokes fun at video game narratives. I'm your narrator, Caleb J. Ross, and guess what? Beyond all doubt, beyond your wildest imaginations, I'm joined by my co-host.
Wow, that blue-balled me a little bit, but I think this is going to be a great episode for younger listeners. We got a ton of PSAs lined up. A lot of people, a lot of adults trying to lure kids into traps, and we're going to be walking through those today with very precise and careful tips for how kids can avoid being kidnapped. Hello, I am Travis.
Yet the only way to get through the game that we're going to be talking about is to completely ignore all of those PSA tips because, you just got to be a terrible kid surrounded by terrible adults in this. Anyway, that was Travis. That was Travis Terry.
Hi.
As always, we'll be taking you through our favorite video game franchise narratives, interjecting with all sorts of hilarity along the way to make you laugh and to make us arm ourselves with faulty sports equipment and vibrantly colored clothing as we set out to rid the world of cops and snakes and more cops and a couple of sea monsters, although one of them actually is kind of helpful, but we'll still rid the world of them. There's some hippies we're going to rid the world of, a couple zombies, some zombie comps, of course. And I think there's some like annoying neighbors too that we're just going to beat with the bat or something like that. It'll be fun.
It will be fun. You know, and I once set out to rid my yard of yellow jackets with basically that same loadout, really.
How'd that work out?
Faulty sports equipment. Good. Good. I was stung hundreds of times, but you know what? There's a few less bees out there.
Wow, well. So you're going after yellow jackets and you ended up getting bees. You were...
Whatever. I don't know. Is there a difference? They're buzzing and stinging.
So. There might be. Anyway.
I yelled, "I'll be danged," when I was getting stung a whole bunch. You know what? Disclaimer time, everybody. Let's settle in here. Real talk. Let's just let us real gamers talk for a second. Let's have some discourse.
All right, I'll shut up.
I know, Caleb, please sit back. Oh. I know a lot of you real gamers out there. You know that Earthbound is not a standalone game, and you saw this and you're like, why are they releasing the middle game story? This game is the meat of the sandwich. It is actually smack in the middle of that Mother series. Mother 1, released on Famicom in 1989, didn't come to North America until 2015, believe it or not. And it came over here as Earthbound Beginnings. The third game, Mother 3, that came to Game Boy Advance in 2006. And once again, they didn't want that thing over here in North America. They didn't want to put it over here. And it didn't come over here in any official way. Fans translations, of course, but unofficially. So it is kind of crazy that Earthbound, the second game in the series, is kind of isolated in this Super Nintendo. It's really famous on the system, but first one and the third one, only hardcore fans know about that one, which is why Caleb and I will only be doing Earthbound. We're not going to be talking about Mother 1 and Mother 3 because we're not familiar with those. So it just made sense for Tales of the Lesser Medium to cover those, to cover this one specific game. Now, to say the franchise does have a through line. There are, I think, a few characters that go throughout the through line. There's the same villain throughout. But once again, we're only doing Earthbound. So if this upsets you in any way whatsoever, please go back and listen to the Uncharted series again until you feel better. Then we'll meet you back here.
And we'll welcome you nerds back with the open arms when you do that. Thank you, nerds. So before we get into the main plot of this game, let's introduce you to Earthbound's first of 4 main protagonists. We'll meet the other 3 along the way, shortly, I promise. Our main guy is Ness. He's a silent protagonist and perhaps the most recognizable character from the game if you're even remotely dialed into Nintendo, and you should be. Nintendo's a pretty cool company, I've heard. Yeah. So he has his own amiibo, and he's been in recent Smash Brothers iterations. Also, his name only has 1 S, so stop all your complaining about this character just being a lazy acronym of the Nintendo Entertainment System, unless his name is an acronym for multiple Nintendo Entertainment Systems.
Oh, because of that S, that second S. I get what you did there. Huh. And interestingly, the main character in the first game, again, that we're not covering here, so why am I even bringing it up? His name was Ninten. Huh? Isn't that a fun fact, right? Ninten, like Nintendo. Also, this game is on the Super Nintendo, so why isn't his name SNES?
That's a much better question than any of the previous questions I had. So Ness, normally, he wears a red and blue baseball cap and wields a baseball bat that he uses as a weapon, because baseball is his favorite sport. Which to me doesn't seem like a valid enough reason to wield a weapon at all. Look, I can't beat strangers with a dromedary just because my favorite sport is the amazing Yemen pastime of camel jumping, all right? I mean, just admit that you're a violent little boy, Ness. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, my favorite sport is camel hunting, actually, so we should get together sometime.
That sounds like it would only be fun for you, given these two sports that we love.
Kind of a layup for me, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. All the competitors in my camel jumping contest jump 0 inches after you get involved. Or sorry, 0 meters. It's in Yemen.
Sure.
Also, Ness sports a blue and yellow striped shirt with blue shorts and red shoes. You know, the SNES was really just firing on all cylinders with SNES's contrasting bright colors. Ness lives at home with his mom, dad, little sister Tracy, and the family dog. However, Ness's dad is seemingly always away on business and only available via phone. Ness isn't a normal kid, though, despite what his strange name, weird fashion and choices, and murderous tendencies might imply. No, he's actually, believe it or not, kind of weird. Okay? See, Ness, he possesses some powerful psychic abilities like paralysis and hypnosis and the amazing ability to maintain a straight face when he tries to convince people that he really does have the powers of paralysis and hypnosis. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. Incredible even. And a lot of people, they think back fondly on Earthbound as an RPG awakening for them, a pivotal moment in their gaming histories. They remember an adventure where a seemingly normal kid and his strange friends, it's like the Goonies. It's a ragtag group of friends. They saved the world. And they related to that kid as themselves and related their own chaotic environments, their households that they had no control over to that strange world in the game. But folks, I'm here to tell you what this game really is about is a roving gang of armed child wizards who John Wick their way from city to city, killing anything and anyone in their path. Do they save the world? Yeah, sure. But do they also leave a needless trail of bodies in their wake? 100%. Caleb, I think it's time to start telling folks the truth about this bloodbath.
Oh man, I can't wait. I've been waiting all day. In the middle of the night, Ness is awakened by a loud crash that shakes his entire home. He jolts out of bed and runs to his sister's room to check on her. She's already awake. She heard it too. Because it was a loud crash. I don't know if you guys got that part. It was loud. It was very loud. So he wants to go check on this crash of sibling awakening volume, but he doesn't do it without protection. Of course not, no. He thinks fast, and he opens a wrapped present he finds in his sister's room and finds a cracked baseball bat inside. Yeah!
Ooh!
yeah, this'll do. He thinks that's my Ness voice. Yeah, wow. This'll do. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he follows that child appropriate tenor of this'll do with after all, I mean my favorite sport is baseball. So let's go murder some loud crash makers, huh?
Yeah, I would assume though that gift was meant for him in the first place, right? I mean, he finds it in his sister's room. She's a little kid. If it was her gift, it's not going to still be wrapped in her room. And only a kid would gift another kid a broken toy.
Yeah, what's weird about this whole thing, though, is like she had a loaded shotgun right there next to her bed. I think it was a loaded shotgun. It was very pixelated. It could have been like a plant.
Could have been a plant. Yeah.
Good thing Barry wasn't there from a Resident Evil series. He would have shit in both of them. Like, we still wouldn't have been able to know.
He buries his shotguns after he shits in them, though, so... It's weird.
with his back, he gets on all fours and just kicks dirt with his back legs. It's pretty great. It's adorable, really. So downstairs, Ness's mom is already awake. She heard the noise too. Once again, see the aforementioned note about it being a loud noise. She heard the noise too. So when Ness says he's leaving to go check it out, she doesn't try to stop him. You know, she's a good mom. Instead, she says, "Oh, you would just sneak out of your room if I tried to stop you, so I won't do that, don't you know?"
Yeah, and then she handed him a beer and some cigarettes, too, and she's like, "I'd rather you start on your downward spiral into depravity here at home than at some stranger's house."
Oh, man. At least she tells him to get out of his jammies before he leaves the house, so she's not a terrible mother. So he goes and puts on his colorful, iconic outfit, he grabs a yellow backpack, and he gets the fuck out of that house. And just across the street, he sees a police car parked with its lights flashing, and then notices the road up to his neighborhood has been blocked. 2 police officers stand near the roadblock, as does a curious neighbor who appears to be talking to them. Ness hears the neighbor say, "I think people are taking this meteorite situation too seriously." So we know now what our crash was. It was a meteorite.
Oh.
When Ness approaches, the police tell him not to panic, but they seem a little bit confused about what a meteorite is, and they reveal to Ness that Onett police are actually best known for their road closures whenever anything happens, and they are going for the world record of road closures.
Wow. This game, it might end up being funnier than us, Caleb. I'm a little worried we can't do it justice.
How dare you say that? I don't think it's worth worrying about, honestly, because, at least this town that we're in, Onet, which is spelled Onett, at least it's not just like a really funny, clever way to force the level number 1 into our RPG adventure here. I mean, as long as that's not the case, we'll just remain the kings of funny in this here episode.
If you say so. They have me nervous.
All right,
out of the game. It's early in the game, first quarter. I'm a little nervous.
Sit back and relax. Let's just coast through the rest of this one, all right, shall we, friend?
All right.
All right, heeding the road closure, Ness walks in the opposite direction and runs into a neighborhood boy. The boy also heard the big crash and is outside investigating. He wants to be the first to see the meteorite. Ness is kind of like, okay, whatever, bud, and goes inside his friend Pokey's house. That sounds like a euphemism for something. I'm going to go head into my friend Pokey's house for a second. I'll be back. Don't come in. So anyway, it's just a few yards away, this house, and Pokey, he's not home. And his little brother Picky tells Ness that Pokey left to figure out the source of the crash that they all heard. Picky says that the boys are home alone, that their parents went out to eat at an elegant restaurant and are not back. Perhaps they're on the wrong side of the road closure now and just won't be home for a while.
Yeah, and that's the story the parents gave them anyway. In reality, they've been arrested for child abuse for naming their children Pokey and Picky. and folks, you're going to want to pay close attention to this frickin' Pokey guy, because he might be more than just an annoying neighbor who reminds us all of South Park's Eric Cartman. And honestly, that's on me. That's my bad. I'm going to be doing that to you guys tonight.
Pokey has gone to investigate on his own, and Picky has to stay back at home to watch the house while his parents and brother are out. So Ness must trudge forward on his own.
Wait. Not on his own, remember. He's got that broken baseball bat.
He's got a broken baseball bat. Okay, thank you, Travis. That's why you're here. Thank you.
Yep.
So Ness wanders further into the woods and up to the mountain near the house toward the crash site. He meets a few police officers along the way who tell him he should be in bed and complain that they hate their jobs and that they're hungry. Police stuff as is traditionally conveyed to young children out alone in the middle of the night.
I mean, they are in the running for most road closures. You'd think that would get them a little more excited for their jobs. Team spirit!
I'm wondering if they see kids walking around and they're like, there must have been a road we didn't close. How'd they get over here? This is on us. This is a problem.
Dang it.
Further up, he sees another road closure manned by a pair of officers and also sees Pokey standing there talking to them. One of the officers tells Ness that Pokey is driving him nuts and asks Ness if Pokey is his friend in a bid to see if Ness can get Pokey to fucking leave.
Hey, kid, you know this annoying fat piece of shit?
The cops won't let he says it real loud too. Pokey very much heard it. The cops won't let Ness or Pokey through their barricade to get closer to the crash site. Pokey, he flips the narrative and accuses Ness of being the one in the way of the cops and that he should go home and that Pokey will inform Ness tomorrow about what happened.
Listen, Ness, why don't you just take your stupid broken bat back to your stupid house with your stupid broken family with your dad who doesn't love you, and I'll come by tomorrow and fill you in on the deeds, yeah?
Annoyed by Pokey and seeing no way through, other than maybe like above the barricade or like 3 inches under the barricade, because that's where the opening of the barricade is.
Sure,
there's no way through. Ness trudges back home, unable to get a good view of the meteor crash site, and goes back to sleep. Later that night, Ness is awoken once more, this time by a knock at the door. He wakes up to check it out, passing his sister in the hallway, who is still awake from earlier. She's unable to sleep.
Yeah, probably because she thinks aliens landed and stole her brother's present from under her bed. Damn aliens!
Ness's mom is also awake downstairs, but insists that Ness answer the door to a stranger in the middle of the night. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, depending on your feelings toward annoying kids, it's just Pokey, and he's out of breath and panicked.
Ness, oh, Lordy be. Some things have really gone down, bud. Oh, I need your help with this one, man. That thing I said about your dad and your broken... I didn't mean that. He does love you. Probably. I mean, maybe he does. Anyway.
I like that this sounds like Pokey's gotten fatter. over the since and just this couple of times you mentioned his voice. He has that B word fat now, where he can say butter, bread. I hope he gets even fatter as we go on. That's my mission for you, Trav. I think you can do it.
He's a healthy weight. He's a healthy boy.
So he tells Ness that he tried to show his little brother Picky to the crash site, and then suddenly the police fled the scene to go deal with a gang of local ruffians known as the Sharks, who started stirring up trouble. In the hoopla, Pokey lost track of Picky, and now he's scared that he's going to get in trouble when his dad finds out. Not scared that he lost his brother, scared that he's going to be in trouble. Pokey's an asshole. Pokey wants Ness to help him find his little brother. Ness doesn't want to. So Pokey, this asshole, he threatens. You ready for this, Travis? He threatens to hurt his feelings.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I really want to feel these insults, Travis. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, if you could, give me a few insults. What would an annoying kid named Pokey say to the fucking star of this game to hurt his feelings? And go.
Listen here, Ness. You're so dumb. I've met a lot of people. You're the dumbest. Easily the dumbest. Your dad, that guy, he's away all the time. You know why? He's a Zodiac killer. That's right, he's a killer. He's a Zodiac.
That hurts. Oh.
You know your baseball bat is broken because you're poor. You're miserably poor.
God,
You're poor. Your mother, drugged up loser. Milking this country for everything because she's not worth a dime.
But you're kind of starting to sound like you're from New Jersey, too, so I kind of like you.
I don't know why I did that, actually. I turned into a Mo Sizzlack.
No, we're like friends now. This is great. Oh, man, this is great.
Hoing, 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 hoing.
That's even like a New Jersey pig snout laugh there. I like it. I don't even know if this is New Jersey. I live in Kansas City, for Christ's sake. This is probably nothing to do with New Jersey.
Never been anywhere near New Jersey.
No,
I have no idea.
So eventually, Ness gives in. His mom gives him permission to go, but tells him, "Oh, you gotta take our dog, Ness. You gotta take the dog King along with you, don't you know?" Along with him, and to once again change out of his jammies. God damn it!
Yeah.
Always leave your clothes on, Ness.
80s and 90s parenting was very different, you know? If your kid wanted to leave the house in the middle of the night to investigate other missing children, you just let them do it. You really had, you had no upper hand back then, because if you think about it, there are no internet privileges to take away from these kids. You couldn't threaten them.
Yeah, I agree. I've been there. I mean, I once, this is an actual true story. Once my mom caught me in the middle of the night solving a missing child cold case, and she was so pissed. She was so mad. She said, "Oh, no son of mine's going to care about reuniting families." Wow. And so yeah, it was harsh. So I put down my Tinker toys and my marbles and my hula hoop.
Wow.
And then I told my mom, I said, "Hey mom, choke on a bag of dicks."
Wow.
That's what I said to her. I said, "Hey mom, choke on a bag of dicks."
You said that to your Minnesotan mother that you have for some reason, even though you're not, she's never been there, ever.
I did it. And the only way I was able to even say that is because I knew she had a bag of dicks.
Oh.
Like she kept them on the table. It was like in a vase, right? It was a whole bag of dicks in a vase.
That's not decor. That's not
even a sack of dicks. Too many dicks for a sack.
Dang. Wow.
Well, on we go. I'm gonna forget that childhood trauma here for just a second as we keep moving forward here. So before he heads out, Ness's dad calls and gives Ness some speech about how you should work to exhaustion when you're young. It's really kind of creepy. He also tells him that he put $30 on his ATM card and wishes his son luck on his adventure. And so off they go, Ness, Pokey, and King. Minutes later, they reach the crash site atop the hillside. And Pokey is right. All the cops are gone.
See, I told you.
When they get to the crash site, King gets scared and runs back home. That was a short-lived little companion with that dog.
I know, right?
But they spy Picky nearby, sitting under a tree. Picky tells them that Pokey got scared and ran away and ended up falling asleep against the tree after looking for him. Classic Pokey.
Listen, guys. I did not get scared. Okay, I just really had to poop, guys. I promise, it was just poop. Yeah, I didn't get scared. I just had to go poop. Yes, under this very specific tree, in fact.
The boys decide to head home, but not before walking past the still hot and burning meteorite. Sexy. A strange beam of light emits vertically up and toward the sky. Ooh, still getting sexy, actually. Ooh. And then a buzzing bee appears, and the bee speaks.
Yeah. And this is the moment where we go off the rails. Talking bees from space.
Oh,
A bee I am not. I'm from 10 years in the future. And in the future, all is devastation. Gygax, the universal cosmic destroyer. And I think the inventor of Dungeons and Dragons, Gary, is his first name, Gary Gygax, I think. Yes, anyway, so he sends all the horror of eternal darkness. However, you must listen. Where I'm from, there is a well-known legend that has been handed down from ancient times. It says, when the chosen boy reaches the point, he will find the light.
Jesus.
Yes, it's a very high up light switch, probably. I don't really know the details of this legend. So you see, it is my opinion that you are that boy, Ness. This, I believe. Gygas's monstrous plan must have been set in motion somewhere on Earth. If you start to confront the enemy immediately, you may have time to counter the evil intentions of the 12-sided die wielder Gygas. 3 things are of the utmost importance: wisdom, courage, and flatulence. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was a joke. Friendship is the 3rd thing. The legends from ancient times tell of 3 boys and a girl. Okay, there was a petition that we unfortunately had to honor. Okay, it was ancient times. We weren't so forward-thinking as you here in the 90s. All right, there was a girl who defeat Gygax. I will tell you more, but I kind of have to pee, so we gotta go. Is there a pooping bush anywhere? I gotta poop too.
Yes, there is. In fact, there is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take a monster bee-sized poop, even though I'm not a bee. Okay, it's just bee-sized. Okay.
So then this bee, who's named Buzz, yeah, that's actually the name of this totally not a bee creature. It's really weird. He gives Ness a sound stone and tells Ness he needs to record the melodies from 8 sanctuary locations onto it. He doesn't explain why or even how all this is supposed to work, but Ness is like, all right, cool, and just takes the stone.
That makes plenty of sense. Really,
sure.
Let's reduce that down, okay?
Please
Here's essentially what happened there is Buzz said, hello, I'm an insect who can travel between planes of existence. I think you're the chosen one to stop. Who was it?
Gary Gygas.
That sounds close enough. To stop him from destroying the Earth, and then basically the bee's like, it's a shame that you're just a regular boy and not someone capable, but either way, it's just what I heard. Here's a rock that records music. I'm going to head on out. Or you know what? Maybe I'll stick around. Doesn't matter. I got to pee. Poop. Bee poop.
And I should probably say for the record here that I know the inventor of D&D is not Gary Gygas. It's Gary Gygax. So don't actually. And also, the fact that I knew that meant that I'm equally as nerdy as the person who would have actually me anyway. So I don't know. I guess we should be friends. So Buzz, who is, by the way, clearly a bee.
So clearly a bee.
He's very much. He joins the 3 boys, and they run. Well, the boys run. The bee flies back down the hill, and they realize, hey, there are 3 of them. And they're all 3 boys, just as that legend states. But they need a girl to join their party, and Pokey, though, he isn't too thrilled to be one of the 3 boys from the prophecy, and he kind of just wants to go home.
Listen, guys, listen. I would totally love to help you guys. Honestly, I would. But, I gotta poop again, actually. So I'm gonna head on out.
On their way, they come across enemies sent from 10 years in the future to destroy Buzz, the not a bee named Buzz. And now, by association, of course, they also have to destroy the boys.
Yeah, and Buzz is like, oh, by the way, I'm also wanted for murder in 5 different eras of time. You guys play it cool. I'll talk to him. Play it cool.
Back at Pokey and Picky's house, their mom and dad are there waiting for the tardy boys, and they are not happy. Now, where the Sam Hill have you boys been? Asked their mom. We can't even go to an elegant dinner at Le Cracker Barrel without you boys all raising hell. Oh, come on, boys. No.
Man, this Minnesotan family.
They're so polite sounding, though. And their dad, he rushes them up to their bedroom and then comes back downstairs to tell Ness that he's tired of living near their family. They've loaned Ness's dad a ton of money he hasn't paid back, and Ness should just leave now because thanks to all of those hefty loans he's dished out, his family now lives in poverty.
Yeah, and of course he says all this while standing in the middle of his lavish living room and wearing his nice suit after his elegant Cracker Barrel dinner with his wife.
and then Ness is just like, oh, hey, well, then why don't you just take this $30 my dad just casually gave me for no reason at all? Oh, yeah, I'm a kid and I have my own ATM. That's right. Yeah, it's weird that we have all this money and you guys don't. That's weird.
That is weird.
Then his wife notices Buzz, and she panics and swats the bee and kills it. Yeah. Buzz's final words eke out as he goes toward the light. Now I'm breathing for like an actual reason because I'm dying close to death. Before I was really alive, so it's weird that I was doing that.
Got it.
To defeat Gygas, your own power must unite with the Earth's, and the Earth will then channel your power. You getting all this? Channel your power. You writing this down? And then, like, multiply it. Somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. You got
multiply.
that?
Did you guys write that down? Multiply our power into the earth or something
Buzz
like that.
out.
Thanks, talking bee.
Yeah. Yet again, I've said this before on these episodes. Why do last words never make any sense? Of all the words, your last one should be clear as fuck.
Right? Like that old man that died in the Uncharted series, or old woman, or every old person that died in Uncharted. A little wordy, but clear.
Yep, absolutely. Oh well. The next day, Ness starts his adventure alone. He travels south into the town of Onett, which, as a reminder, for the sake of Travis and my sense of comedic superiority, is, in fact, just a regular-ass town name with no clever correlation to level numbers. All right, we're on the same page here, right?
We're the clever ones in this here town. This is funny town.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fuck you game is what I say. Here, Ness talks to some friends, stocks up on some food and other adventuring necessities, and tries to soak up as much gossip as possible. He talks to everyone in search of answers about the strangeness around town and to hopefully meet someone who is willing to join his party to fulfill the prophecy of 3 boys, 1 girl.
And no cups.
He hears that special... I thought I had that out of my brain until you say that. Now it's back. He hears that there's a special girl named Paula from the nearby town of Tucson who is rumored to know magic and might be down for some adventure. And fuck, town number 2 is called Tucson. We're fucked, Travis. It's over. The game is funnier than us. It's over. We're done.
Let's just hold tight. They can't keep this up. They can't.
Okay. I will give them 2 more town names. Anything more than that, and I might have to quit. I might have to quit Tales of the Lesser Medium, Travis. This might be up to you. I'm just not funny enough for it. So let's just hope that doesn't happen.
All right.
So these boys, they run into a problem immediately. The road from Onett to Tucson is blocked by police.
Hey, no surprise there. Roadblocks, what they're known for.
Yeah, so Ness needs permission from the police chief before he can, I don't know, just go around the block, I guess. I don't know, you need a permit and shit. So meanwhile, here in the town of Onett, the Shark Gang, remember those guys? They're up to no good? They're still up to no good, yeah. Ness stands up to the punks, though, and he defeats them one by one with his cracked baseball bat, leaving their bodies where they lay to ward off others who may try to pull off the same hooligan shit. The 2 survivors of his slaughter lead him to their leader, who is in the back of a local arcade. Ness kicks every shark ass in the arcade on his way to meet Frank, their leader. In the back, Frank, an adult man. He wields a pair of daggers and doesn't hold back, even though Ness is just a goddamn kid. But Frank's no match for Ness, who beats him an inch from death with his baseball bat and leaves him lying near a picnic table for the birds. And that's not a saying. There actually are a lot of crows in this game that you have to fight.
Truly.
Bleeding profusely, Frank admits defeat and, through agonizing groans, tells Ness about a place called the Giant Step that possesses great power and allows certain people to perform wondrous feats. But a monster sucked up all the energy from there. To get there, he has to get a key to the shack where some touring entertainers stay.
PSA. Listen up.
Here we go.
Kids, this seems like a trap, okay? If a guy who leads a gang of children and hangs out in the back of an arcade with knives tells you There is a magic mountain in the woods where things are getting sucked on near a shack that has a key you need. Call your dad. Call him up.
I also like that Frank, he kind of buried the lead. He's like, there's this place. It's called Giant Step. Oh, yeah, there's a fucking monster, too? But it's like but there's a place. There's a place called like Giant Step, right? There's a place.
The view is incredible.
Yeah, you've seen monsters, dude. They're in your closet. You haven't seen a place. Never seen a place. So Ness heads to the town hall to tell the mayor, hey, you know what? You know the shot gang, right? The shot gang. I just wiped out the entire gang except for a couple rapscallions, and then also their leader. His name is Just Frank, by the way. Did you know this, mayor? It's kind of fucking crazy. Anyway, it took me about 20 minutes with a cracked baseball bat. I don't know, you guys got guns and shit. You probably should have been able to take care of it without my help, but I did it. All right, so how can I get to Tucson, huh? And then Mayor B.H. Perkle, there's a lot of P names in this game. He's impressed, as he should be.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh, you beat up the town bullies, punched them out big time, kicked their butts, bit their heads off, spit in their eyes, and made them wet their pats. Then you made them promise not to make any more trouble. Oh, thank you.
That was my favorite voice journey you've ever done, Travis. It started off as a delightful, effeminate prospector. like you found going like, oh, it's delightful. There's going to be I'm going to make so many jewels with all of this jewelry that I found here. And then you just kind of like devolved into just like fancy guy who just wants to sound important, and I like it. You know what? Keep it up.
I have a lot of range.
Yeah, and you cram it all into
Killing one
couple
character.
sentences. And then Ness is like, hey, I didn't say all that, all right? It sounds like you've played this out in your own head for a while. I just did bat stuff back there. I mean, you know, I might have peed in their eyes a bit too or whatever, but mostly bat stuff. Get back to the effeminate prospector. I like it. In exchange for wiping the gang off the streets of Onett, Ness is given the key to the entertainer's shack. Mayors have all the keys to everything in the city. You know that. Of course you do, listener. Turns out, passing through this random shack in the woods is the only way to reach a cave that, if Frank is to be believed, leads to the Giant Step location. And why shouldn't he be believed? He just tried to murder a child. Anyway, Ness climbs through the twists and turns of the cave system, finally emerging above ground on what he assumes is the Giant Step, noted by an enormous footprint in the ground near the exit of the cave.
Yeah, and it is a big footprint. I mean, so big it looks like it belongs to the bigger Bigfoot that regular Bigfoot believes in.
Automatically, the mysterious soundstone that Buzz gave him starts to record the melody of the Giant Step. 1 down, 7 more to go, just like as we learned in our Bionic Commando episode, Octopus Legs. They tend to have 8. Yeah.
Nice callback. Good.
Yeah, thank you. When he exits the cave behind the shack, a policeman is waiting for him. The sign outside the shack had warned of danger and said, "Do not enter." Yet Ness, he had entered, in fact, although he did it with a key from the mayor. So that doesn't matter, apparently, unless the sign had like a footnote that said, like, unless you have a key from the mayor, which it may have said, right. But you know, 90s screen resolutions being what they were, it's hard to tell.
Sure.
Anyway, the policeman tells Ness to come by the police department, and when he does, he gets a lecture about what "do not enter" means before Ness can ask him if he can pass on to Tucson. The police oblige, but first they take him to a back room and make him fight 5 cops. Wow. Now, if he can beat them, he can go to Tucson. Sounds like a fair deal. Weird deal, but a fair deal.
It does seem fair. And that's how all travel should work. Before you leave town on vacation, you have to go down to the police department, fight some cops. I think it's only fair. Keep them sharp.
That's right. Especially cops that are only used to placing road barricades. I feel like they're probably a little bit out of shape. It might be a little bit easier. Promptly, Ness defeats all 5 cops. Them, armed with guns and billy clubs, versus 8-year-old Ness, armed with a mismatched outfit and a baseball bat that's more splinters than bat. Through coughs of spewing blood, a surviving cop radios ahead to let the other cops at the roadblock know that Ness is worthy of passage. Although only 2 cops guard the roadblock, and Ness has already proven that 5 cops pose no threat, you know, he could just whip their ass and walk right through, but he doesn't.
He respects their service.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Now with the roadblock gone, he treks south through the woods to Tucson. Once in Tucson, he swings by the department store and buys a teddy bear to stave off his loneliness. That's sad and charming at the same time. Mm-hmm. Exploring the town, he comes to a jazz club where there's a line out front for a band known as the Runaway Five. They apparently owe the club owner a lot of money and aren't allowed to leave until they pay the owner back. Ness, now with a sweet, sweet taste of blood on his tongue, makes their problem his problem.
You know, I've been thinking about this. If the band can't leave the club, then I'm not sure how the owner expects them to pay him back through any legitimate means. How are they going to make money? Oh, God, it's sexual favors, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you know, it's kind of an ironic predicament for a group called the Runaway Five to be in.
Right? They can't run away.
Yeah. They're like, what do you think we should do? Should we, like, escape? We're not the Escape Five, asshole. We're the Runaway Five. We'll just run away. We can't without escaping. And once again, point number one, we're not the Escape Five. Shut it, Carl. Yeah, Carl's back. He always shows up in these episodes.
Classic.
Back outside, word around town is that the local Berglund Park is overrun with bullies headed by a guy named Everdread. He's described as, quote, not a good person, but fairly warm-hearted for a crime boss. It doesn't take long for Ness to tangle with Everdread. Dreads are tangled up hair. I like that, Travis.
Yeah.
Just a few steps outside the park, Everdread is perched atop a shed like a gargoyle, waiting to strike the next unsuspecting passerby. Ness urges him to come down and then bludgeons him with his bat, leaving Everdread hobbled. Through pain-filled grunts, Everdread tells Ness that a mystical and magical girl in town named Paula has gone off to a secret hideout in a place called the Peaceful Rest Valley.
Oh, that would be a nice name for like a nursing home or a graveyard. Same thing, I guess.
But that's not all. Everdread tells Ness that a, quote, chubby boy and a weird guy in a blue outfit have kidnapped Paula and are going to make her into some sort of human sacrifice. He says, they were definitely hardcore strange. You know, man, that's right, this character's back. You know, she might be gone already. You better hurry.
Grim.
That's fucking grim. Ness leaves to go find Paula, dragging his giant red teddy bear through the streets of Tucson, and soon arrives at Polestar, the daycare where Paula works with her mom.
Polestar is the worst name for a daycare I've ever heard of. And the best name for a stripper rating site I've ever heard of. But, you know, if it's a strip club with a daycare in the back, then it kind of rules.
You know, I think maybe it's like an aspirational name. You know, like if a kindergarten is called Future Leaders of America, right? Like kids at this daycare hope to someday be nasty pole stars, stripping for Benjamins.
Are you calling strippers nasty? I think strippers provide a very neighborly duty for folks.
No, just in this particular Polestar building, they're specifically trained to be nasty.
Okay. Got you. Okay.
Yeah. All the kids there say they love Paula, and they miss her, and they can't wait for her to come back, and one of them says, like, preferably, like, alive. But unfortunately, it's too bad, because she has been kidnapped and likely murdered. Aww. Sorry, Billy. But you know what? These are Polestar kids. They'd be happy for the comfort of a dead body, right? We've learned they're nasty. Paula's mother is in denial, saying not to worry about Paula. She has a guardian angel. Yeah, sure she does.
Yeah, guardian angel. What? Next you're going to tell me she's got magical powers.
It's like we're in a world where kids could have like hypnosis and psychosis. Was that one of his magical powers? Psychosis?
That's for a character coming up.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'll skip ahead then. But let's just skip down to. I'm interpreting the reader's aura or the listener's aura. They're like, you should skip ahead, dudes.
Let's just hear that.
In the next room is Paula's dad. He suspects Ness is just another TV reporter wanting to get info from Paula about her magical powers.
And it is kind of strange that he would suspect a young boy to be a reporter.
Well, he was very drunk.
Yeah.
When Ness tells Paula's dad who he is, her dad recognizes the name from a dream Paula had. Thinking this might be important, he runs upstairs to get Paula, who we already know has been kidnapped. Now, how did her parents not know, but everyone else in town does?
Yeah.
I don't know. The dad is surprised she's not home, and Ness doesn't have the heart to tell him that she's likely face down in a ditch somewhere between Onet and the next town over, Threed.
Okay. All right. In case this has gone over folks' head, you can see a pattern in the naming of the towns, right? They're numerical. Onet has the 1, Tucson the 2, 3, Threed. You get it, Caleb? This is super clever stuff. I'm panicking right now. I wish we were this clever.
Yeah, I do get it, Travis. I get it, as I've already said. And I'm super bummed about it. But thank you for bringing it up again. Ness makes it to the Peaceful Rest Valley ranch in search of signs of Paula. The folks around here are strange. One kid is standing in the middle of a field alone and wearing a creepy mask. He tells Ness that he and, quote, an overweight kid, unquote, kidnapped Paula and hid her in a mountain cabin. He then tells Ness that he was just kidding.
Jesus, dude.
Ness, never able to sleep any fucking place, finally takes a nap. In his slumber, the voice of Paula comes to him, begging Ness to find her. Later on, around town, the citizens give off cultish vibes. We learn that a man in town known as Mr. Carpenter wants a girl to be his priestess of, quote, happyism, unquote, which at this point you hope it's just a light cult stuff, nothing Catholic.
Yeah, and if you can't name your cult religion anything better than happyism, frankly, you don't deserve it. I mean, to me, cult leading is about marketing, dedication, and I'm not seeing either here. Also, why do you need your priestess to be a young girl, you fucking sicko? I should have led with that complaint, to be honest.
Ness braves a cave to the north of the Peaceful Rest Valley Ranch with blue cheese and bacon, and eventually reaches a cabin in the woods.
I'm only now realizing you added the ranch part for that very joke. And I am upset. I'm upset.
I'm not. Inside, he finds Paula behind some iron bars. She's happy to see Ness, telling him that she had a dream about him and knew he would be the one to rescue her. But in order to do that, Ness will have to get the key to the cage from wherever Mr. Carpenter has hidden it. Back outside, Ness is surprised to see his overweight neighbor turned nemesis Pokey standing there flanked by two hooded figures.
Oh, hi, Ness. I was just conducting a door-to-door poll on dressings. What do you think? Peaceful Rest Valley Ranch, Kraft, Kins, Wishbone, or Newman's Own? Where you landing, bud?
He doesn't know anything about salads. All right, turns out Pokey drank the goddamn Kool-Aid and is in the cult now.
I'm also doing a poll on Kool-Aid. What are you doing there? What are you doing? You doing a grape? Wait a minute, a fruit punch? You like cult? That's a flavor.
I was always a kiwi strawberry man. Or that shark. There's a shark flavor from the 90s. I don't remember what it's called, but it was good.
Sharks.
Sorry, you were probably asking fictional Ness in this game, not Caleb hosting. I apologize.
Yeah.
When Ness refuses to join, Pokey orders his two hooded goons to fight Ness while he flees. With his bat, Ness leaves them battered and beat just outside of Carpenter's cabin and goes off to find Carpenter himself and retrieve that key. And Pokey, are we just not going to take a moment here to talk about what Pokey just did?
I'm a Ken's ranch guy personally. Not so much into the. I don't kidnap. That's not my style.
Yeah, choice of salad dressings wasn't like the thing I wanted to address about Pokey, but that's all right. We'll keep going.
You want to do a dressing that? Because it's. Yeah.
Oh, boo. Back in town, Carpenter and his cult are mid-congregation. Ew! When Ness busts through the door and starts fighting everyone all up in there. He makes his way through the crowd of shrouded figures, taking them out one by one with his blood-covered baseball bat, being sure to leave no one alive. He reaches the back room where Carpenter awaits. Carpenter tries to bargain, telling Ness he needs his help to fulfill his own destiny, which turns out is just to paint everything blue. Ness isn't interested in the mad ramblings. He wants the key to Paula's cage. When Carpenter doesn't oblige, Ness unsheathes his bloodthirsty baseball bat and whacks away at the cult leader until Carpenter is crawling around on the ground begging for his life. Using his least mangled arm, Carpenter pulls the key out of his breast pocket and hands it to Ness.
All right. Ness accepts the key, grabs his crotch, and says, "Blue on these nuts." And then he leaves. Couldn't believe that was in the game.
It's weird. It's very weird. Back outside, Pokey greets Ness, telling him he feels like he just woke from a dream and apologizes to Ness for what happened at the cabin.
Listen, bud. I'm sorry I came at you so hard about that ranch dressing, bud. It's on me.
In fact, it seems the trance the entire village of Peaceful Rest Valley Ranch Southwest Chipotle was under had been lifted after Carpenter's defeat, and the cult has since dissolved.
The name is getting worse.
No, it's getting tastier. Ness unlocks Paula's cage and finally gets a good look at this magical girl he's heard so much about. She wears a pink dress with a white collar and a white belt.
Yeah, she mildly resembles Princess Peach if you blur your eyes a little. You do a little squinting.
Ness hands her a big red teddy bear he's been dragging all over the place. She happily accepts it and tries to wipe the blood, mud, and various viscera from it. And if you look closely, you can actually hear her say, like, "Is this a cop's ear trapped in this matted teddy bear fur?" On her way out of the cabin, Paula grabs a frying pan to use for melee defense because, of course, the female character has to use a frying pan for her weapon.
Yeah, but at least now I'm going to ratchet it up a notch. We're about to enter the Bonnie and Clyde phase of Ness's murder spree.
Paula leads Ness through a nearby mountain pass that winds its way to the second soundstone. 2 down. Yes!
Yeah.
Back in Tucson, Paula's parents are happy to see her, which is good.
Yeah.
They had grown suspicious that it was Everdred who kidnapped her, and Paula's dad was planning to, quote, deal with him, if you know what we mean.
Mm-hmm.
Ness pays the barely still alive Everdred a visit, and he's very relieved to see Paula is alive. He was worried the false accusations could lead to his further harm if she wasn't found.
Yeah.
Everdred, the big-hearted crime boss that he is, gives Ness $10,000 for the trouble.
Wow.
A better gift for rescuing Paula than her own parents offered, by the way.
Yeah, geez, man. Maybe he really is a decent guy just out here scraping by with petty crimes. I like him.
He's all right. In order to get to the next city, Threed, Ness needs to take public transit, as it's just too far by foot, and the nearby tunnel through the mountain is said to be haunted by ghosts. Unfortunately, the local bus station is a mess due to a rumor of a zombie invasion in Threed.
And after hearing that, I'm not so interested to head to Threed anymore.
Ness decides to go to the local nightclub where the jazz band, the Runaway Five, is holed up, pay off their debt with the $10,000 gift from Everdred, and ride with them on their bus to Threed.
Yeah, and while he's in that jazz club, he smokes a pack of cigarettes over in a dark corner while sipping stiff cocktails and polishing his bat. Jazz has that way about it.
The town of Threed is barely holding itself together. Probably because of all the unfunny punniness of it, right? Fuck that town. All of the buildings and homes are dilapidated, while zombies roam freely. In fact, one man is responsible for the zombies, and his name is Belch.
Belch.
He works for Gygas, the destroyer of worlds we heard about in the Bee's prophecy. Belch gives life to the zombies that have overrun the town. Ness and friends will need to take down Belch to stop the zombie invasion and return the town to order, and maybe then they can learn where the third soundstone is located.
I particularly like how Ness enters every town innocently in search of a funky rock a bee told him about, but always ends up having to murder most of the civic leaders before he finds what he's looking for. Weird.
He's like a cowboy that kicks in the doors to the saloon and says, "I need a napkin." Just something very innocuous. Yeah. Looking for a spot to stay, Ness and Paula head to Threed's hotel and spot a woman in the lobby who runs away from them. Curious, they follow her right into a zombie trap.
Let that be a lesson, kids. Never follow a woman.
PSA number 2, I think, if we're keeping track of counting. I think we should. The zombies overtake and subdue Ness and Paula. They wake hours later, locked inside a dark cave. Using her telepathy, Paula calls on someone she's never met for help. His name? The mysterious, the grandiose Jeff. It's just Jeff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame. I hate to say it. The power of telepathy. You have it. But when you're in a tough spot, you can't even reach SEAL Team 6. You get a boy named Jeff. I mean, no offense to the fine Jeffs out there, but I'd call on literally none of you if I were suddenly imprisoned in a cave.
Hey, true story. This is absolutely true story. 100%. Like the earlier true story I said earlier. This one's 100% true story. One time I found myself stranded on the toilet without any toilet paper, right? And so I used my own powers of telephony to call my wife to bring me some toilet paper. But when she got there, she couldn't open the bathroom door because I had locked it, as one does when they sometimes go to the bathroom.
Sure.
So I had to waddle my dirty ass over to the door, right? Unlock it, and then make her promise to wait a few seconds before opening the door because it's like a much more dignified to be seen sitting on the toilet than like waddling pants down and mud cheeks toward the toilet, right?
That's right. Man, I mean, to be clear, I said telepathy, not would you say telephony? Telepony? Telepony?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that makes my story like less relevant.
No. I liked your shitty story.
Yeah, thank you. Literally and descriptively, it was shitty. Thank you. Miles away to the north, in the snowy town of Winters, lives this boy named Jeff. He awakens to a voice in his head, that of a young girl named Paula, begging for his help. Jeff lives in a boarding house with his roommate, Tony. Jeff tells Tony what's up, and Tony, who is always down to clown, helps Jeff prepare for his strange adventure to save a dream girl. Jeff has to pack some junk food first, and of course he has to go retrieve the gun he keeps in his school locker.
Wow. Well, I mean, where else is he going to keep it? He lives at the school.
Yeah. He keeps all his books in a safe. It's really weird. Once he has his gun, he orders Tony outside the school to help him scale over the wall. With the use of Tony's back, Jeff climbs over the fence and has officially run away from school.
Which is good, because now there's one less gun in there.
Packing heat, he holds up a nearby drugstore for cookies and bubblegum.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he gives the bubblegum to a monkey hanging out by the door. I don't know why he thought to do this. As a player, when I played this game, I had to look that up. There's no indication that should be done. Anyway, the monkey shows Jeff that he can blow a bubble with the gum and make himself float upward. Jeff is really impressed, and he orders the monkey at gunpoint to accompany him on this journey. They leave the drugstore and venture out on foot through the cold woods in search of the source of the voices inside Jeff's head. So we got this gun-toting child who hears voices in his head and feeds bubblegum to a monkey for fun. And also points a gun at the monkey and forces him to eat bubblegum.
It's amazing, man. Jeff's story is played out like he told it this way in a court-ordered interview with a psychiatrist to determine if he was fit to stand trial. And it didn't actually happen this way. He's the one that has the power of psychosis I was talking about earlier. I mean, this story, folks, buckle up. Lots of cryptids, UFOs, world wonders. I mean, flying monkeys.
Floating
Jeff's
monkeys,
crazy.
technically.
Yeah, well, yeah. Floating monkeys.
Jeff and his helium-lunged monkey hostage make their way to a nearby lake, exhausted and hungry from being on the lam. Yeah, but you see how exhausted the lamb is. Oy. Thanks, Pokey. They raid some tents for food and warmth. A few yards south of the tents, they reach the water's edge of Lake Tess. People are standing around the shore, staring intently toward the water with binoculars. Jeff is curious and asks the people what they're doing. It turns out they're looking for Tessie, a mythical creature that is rumored to live at the bottom of the lake. Jeff thinks this is hogwash, of course, but he also needs to figure out how to get around the lake and keep moving south. The wind suddenly picks up, and Jeff is hit with an idea. He grabs his gun, and he demands that his monkey stand on the bank while he gobbles down bubblegum. The monkey seems confused, and I swear to God there's a pixelated tear coming down his cheek. This monkey does not know what's going on and is very sad. But Jeff forces him to chew that goddamn bubblegum and blow a bubble, all the while staring down the barrel of his handgun. At first, nothing happens. Oh, Jeff is pissed. Oh, let me tell you. Ooh, he's pissed. But just about the time Jeff was going to fucking unload on this monkey for disappointing him, the monkey's finally like, okay, is this what you want? Is this what you want, master? I'll blow a bubble. And he blows a bubble, and with the help of wind gusts, flies up and over the water.
Yeah, and the monkey was like, oh, okay, I got you. Now use your words, Jeff. Jesus.
Suddenly, out of the water lifts the head of a giant dinosaur-like creature. The monkey lands on the dinosaur's head, and Jeff hops onto its back, and they take a ride across the frigid lake together as boy, monkey, and prehistoric lizard.
Disney, if you're out there listening, and we know you do, this should be a TV show.
Yeah, the rewrite in the script was that they just tapped the people with binoculars on the shoulder, and they said, hey, how'd you get over here? like, we'll just go that way. Can we do that? It was less dramatic, though.
Sure.
Once on the other side of the lake, Jeff spots a cave through the mountain, and they head toward it. Coming out on the other end, they encounter a lady monkey who steals the heart of Jeff's hostage pet monkey. Jeff had enough monkey business anyway, so he bids farewell to his gum-chewing primate pal and goes on alone. Jeff, succumbing to the pangs of his newfound loneliness, has trouble processing his emotions. And so then he does what we would all do, and he murders a homeless man near Stonehenge for looking at him funny.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then he finds a laboratory. Oh, sorry. This is Tales of the Lesser Medium.
Yes.
He then finds a laboratory directly south where a mad scientist has built a flying saucer.
Yes, Jeff, yes. Floating Floating monkey, yes, of course, yes. Murdered a man at Stonehenge and then found a flying saucer, yes, of course, of course. As your court-ordered psychiatrist, I must ask, did your father pay you no mind, Jeff? Was he tinkering a bit too much at his shop and not loving you, huh? Do you think that played a part in the murders? It's probably what a psychiatrist said.
Yeah, it's probably what he said, yeah. I feel like he's leading him, though. Like,
little bit.
What is Jeff going to say? But I do now? Now I think that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the scientist lets Jeff fly the saucer, partly because the scientist is just a super cool dude, but mostly because Jeff threatened him with a gun and bubblegum. He's still threatening with bubblegum. That's weird.
It is.
In the saucer, Jeff flies in the direction of Paula's voice. He eventually crash lands in the graveyard of Threed. The impact crater is so deep, Jeff falls through the roof of the cave where Ness and Paula are trapped inside and joins them. Coincidence?
Yeah. Jeff's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're waiting on a boy named Jeff to come and save us. And he's like, oh, weird. My name's Jeff. When do you think Rescue Jeff will be here? Because we seem to be very trapped in this cave.
No, but they aren't trapped long. Oh. As our delinquent savior, Jeff knows how to pick locks. That's good. So through the unlocked door they go and back to the surface of Threed.
Man, what a side quest that was. We met Jeff, a monkey, and a mad scientist. Just tons of fun.
Yeah. So, hey, Travis, are you now ready to apologize for calling Paula's telepathy just a shitty booty call for lamos named Jeff?
Yeah, I think I am. Listen, Jeffs, if you're out there listening, and I know at least upwards of 2 of you could be. You've gotten a bad rap for too long, you know. I understand the most famous Jeffs out there are, you know, NASCAR legend Jeff Gordon and Amazon executive Jeff Bezos and well, the unfortunate Jeffrey Epstein. You deserve better than those Jeffs, you know. When will there be a Jeff president? Or better yet, listen, Jeff Christ. When's he coming? Well, if you're a Jeff, hang in there. You're worth wasting telepathy on, in my opinion. And I'm sorry about what I said earlier.
What about Thomas Jefferson? Does that count?
Was he a NASCAR driver?
I think it was a president. I think you said when's there going to be a Jeff president. I'm pretty sure he was. Wasn't he? Was he not? Maybe he was president of Canada, and that's just, I don't know, something.
Yeah, he was president of Canada.
I think, yeah. All right. With the help of a non-zombified town person they meet, they decide the best way to eradicate the town of zombies is to lure them all into a giant circus tent in the middle of town, and they just set that fucker on fire.
I love this idea.
So good. So the bright idea for doing this, though, it does require placing sticky paper on the floor, okay? Sticky paper that will both lure the zombies to the tent, right? And, per the name of said paper, cause them to be stuck there, all right? Kind of like flies to fly paper, right? So they put down the paper that they somehow find. I don't know why zombie sticky paper is a thing in this world, but they find it. Okay, that's the point. They have it. They put down the paper. They go back to the hotel, hoping that in the morning the circus tent will be chocked full of the undead. And you know what? It fucking works.
What?
Yeah. With the zombies trapped for now, they just see no need in setting fire to the tent for the time being, and instead they just decide to continue exploring the town for the next soundstone.
Huh. You know, I have to commend this plan, but I can't do it without acknowledging the strength of adhesive on 3M products. I mean, you know, sticky paper that can hold a zombie in place, that's pretty good stuff, honestly. And also, it's weird to me that they don't hesitate to murder basically anyone with a soul, anyone who stands in their way, but they'll spare zombies, and thus cock-blocking us, you and me, Caleb, from a sweet circus tent murder fire. Upsetting.
Man. You know, if we were better with getting sponsors, we probably should have reached out to 3M. But unfortunately, we're stuck with, well, you guys will find out. Keep listening. Oh, God. It's going to be bad, guys. Okay. Most podcasts wouldn't dare, before the sponsorship is said, or even any time, say how much the sponsor sucks. But you know what? We're a different kind of podcast here, listener.
We are.
We're different enough for you to review us. You know, stop listening right now. Review us. Come back. All right. And welcome back. All right. On their search for the next soundstone, the trio venture north of Threed, where they come across a strange village of small creatures who appear as mostly noses with eyes, called the Saturn People. And a fun fact, this is a real fun fact. The Saturn people are believed...
Wait. Have all your fun facts been not real until now? Usually when I say fun fact, it's like, I mean it.
Oh God, you really called me out. Now I got to go back and think of all the fun facts I've said. You know what? A fact can be fictional but still fun. That's still a fun fact, right?
That's not the fact.
I'm having
the
fun with the
part's throwing me
idea
off.
of what factual means. I'm playing with that word. So this is a fun factual fact.
Whatever.
Anyway, these Saturn people are believed to have been inspired by Kirk Vonnegut's alien race creation, the Tralfamadorians. So if you
See, now it sounds made up. I'm not sure it's a fun fact anymore. That sounds made up.
Kurt Vonnegut made it up, so that's technically made up.
Okay.
Yeah. Apology accepted.
You got me.
The Saturn people are cryptic little shits and tell Ness that in order to find the Soundstone, Ness needs to go stand behind a nearby waterfall for 3 minutes.
Sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, it does sound like bullshit. But sure enough, 3 minutes later, Paula, Ness, and Jeff are granted entrance to a secret underground facility from where the zombies are apparently generated. In the far corner of the facility, they find Master Belch, a green, melted Jabba the Hutt looking creature with a fangy underbite.
Yeah, and it may help listeners to just imagine Joe Rogan for that, and then it may help listeners to immediately forget Joe Rogan. Just a little mental help.
They beat, bludgeon, and shoot this Belch until he's on death's door, thus halting the zombie invasion. Soon after, the trio find the Soundstone in a mountain cave and return to Threed. Next stop is the town of Forsyth.
Forsyth? Oh, God damn it. They've done it again. How much longer can they keep it up?
That was the last one I gave them. One more, and I'm quitting this goddamn podcast.
Me too. I'm walking right out.
But before they get to Forsyth, they've got to cross a desert. Okay, well, thankfully, the buses have been restored now that the undead are indeed dead again.
Nothing can stop us now.
Nothing. Except that traffic is backed up in the desert on the way to Forsyth as something is blocking the way. God damn it. So the bus will have to stop until the road is cleared, so the three kids hop off and trek the rest of the way on foot. They finally reach the town of Forsyth, a place much more developed than the previous towns they visited. Forsyth is a highfalutin place, but is not without corruption. The head of this corruption is a man they call Mr. Monotoli. And who are his two finest business consultants, you might ask? Well, you should go ahead and ask that if you hadn't yet, because we're going to tell you. None other than Pokey and Pokey's fucking dad.
Oh yeah. Hey, guess whose dad loves them and does things with them?
Oh, God.
Mine does. We do all kinds of stuff together. We flank a shady businessman and give him advice.
Ouch, that one actually does sting. That does sting. Folks around the city hint toward Mr. Monotoli having something to do with all the strange occurrences that have been going on in Forsyth. Ness, Paula, and the gun-crazed Jeff decide they should go pay him a visit. As the kids ascend 47 floors toward the top of the city's tallest hotel, where the office of Mr. Monotoli is located, they come across Pokey, sitting on a couch just outside of Monotoli's office.
Well. If it isn't mostly dadless, dumb hat wearing Ness and his friend stripper pulling dumb guns.
How did he know all this backstory about him? That's weird.
I'm everywhere.
Pokey tells Ness that he's been hired to give Monotoli political and economic advice, and then promptly has Ness and his pals thrown out by his bodyguards. They won't be seeing Monotoli today.
I'm the real deal, guys. Read my autobiography, From Annoying Kid to Cult Follower to Economic Advisor overnight. It's a Forsyth bestseller.
The kids decide to head to the mall for some pre-Gygus Armageddon shopping, but something strange happens. Believe it or not, something strange happens. All the lights in the mall go out, and an alien runs right past them, snagging Paula along the way. An eerie transmission calls Ness to the 4th floor of the mall. In one of the back offices of the 4th floor awaits a green alien with eyes that swivel on long stalks. It then stands upright on several tentacles. Undeterred, Ness and Jeff wail on the creature until its pleas for them to stop finally subside. Stopping just short of killing it, they demand to know where it has taken Paula. The alien says she's with Mr. Monotoli now.
Yeah, then Ness gives it one final kick in its rib cage and lights a cigarette. Jeff uses a handkerchief from his breast pocket to wipe the green blood from the tip of his shoe. Man, these kids are ruthless.
Back outside the mall, there's commotion in a nearby alleyway. Ness and Jeff go over to investigate. A crowd of people are gathered around a body on the ground. Is someone dead? Upon closer inspection, they realize it's Everdred. What?
Hey.
The kind-hearted bully from Tucson, who is actually fairly considerate for a crime boss. Through anguished stammers, Everdred says that he found a statue left by the cultists, and he believes it to possess special powers. Monotoli stole the statue from him and has bad intentions for using it. Somehow, Everdred knows the statue is tucked under the counter at a nearby cafe.
Then why not go get it, Everdred?
Yeah, and why stash it there? I mean, it seems like anyone could just take it. Anyway, the kids need to get that statue back. Meanwhile, Everdred just stands up and shuffles off like nothing happened.
Yeah, what even happened here? Everdred is 2 towns from home with the statue. He's mugged for it in an alley, somehow knows where it was taken after it was mugged from him, and it's not taken to a secure place at all. Something seems fishy.
Yeah.
I smell fish.
Yeah. We're in Forsyth. It's a seaside town. Yeah, that probably explains it. They enter the cafe, and Ness heads over to the counter, reaches down and picks up the statue. Everdred was actually telling the truth about where it was located. And at this very moment, as soon as Ness touches the statue, the world changes. Everything goes black, outlined by neon colors. Wavy lines produce the feeling of being under the influence of something. It's hazy, discombobulating, and uncomfortable. What's going on here? Outside the cafe, the layout of Forsyth is the same, but the locals call it Moonside now. After venturing around the town, which seems oddly reminiscent of the Upside Down in the TV show Stranger Things, Ness and Jeff arrive at a giant golden statue that comes to life, and it attacks them. Ness and Jeff smash it to pieces with a broken pipe, ending the illusion. When the boys come to in the real world, they're in a warehouse, the golden statue shattered before them, and its curse broken. Apparently, throughout their Moonside ordeal, Ness and Jeff were stumbling around Forsyth and mumbling in a zombie-like trance.
Wow, I think Everdred sold them heroin in that alley.
Fortuity then strikes.
All right.
A young woman outside the Forsyth department store tells Ness and Jeff that she really wants some trout-flavored yogurt. It just so happens that Jeff has a yogurt dispenser. I know, this seems fishy.
I called it.
Yeah, he did. But she invites them up to her room on the 48th floor of the hotel. Take that, Monotoli. And they oblige, seeing as this could get them closer to Monotoli, 1 floor above him, by the way. Take that, Monotoli. I said that. Upstairs, they learn that the woman is actually Monotoli's maid. They chat over some delicious helpings of trout-flavored yogurt, and then the boys leave to explore the 48th floor, where they eventually locate Monotoli's office. They barge inside.
Man, hard pass on trout-flavored anything. Even trout. I'm going to pass.
Monotoli says,
"Stop! That's enough. Please stop. I give up. I really do."
Paula emerges from the other side of the room, excited that Ness and Jeff made it here to rescue her. Turns out she's fine, and she didn't even think Monotoli is a bad guy. Stockholm Syndrome, perhaps? I don't know. Monotoli then speaks.
"Look at my skinny arms, thin body, and gray hair. I've become so weak since I lost the Money statue. I'm sorry I kidnapped Paula. I haven't done anything to her. Wink, wink. Paula's a nice girl. Paula, return to Ness. I'm sorry I've created so much trouble for you. I'll tell you everything. The Money statue creates an illusion. It attracts evil spirits and weakens your heart. The power scared me so much I hid the statue in the warehouse at the cafe. I often went there to pray, and cryptic words appeared to me when I was under the illusion. Yes, your name appeared in the messages. It said to not let you go to Summers, and to make sure you know nothing of the pyramid. Now, I don't understand these messages, but someone doesn't want you to go to Summers. Evil Gigas or something. I couldn't make out the name. Anyway, the evil side would be in trouble if you visit Summers. Huh? On the contrary, you should definitely go to Summers, especially because they don't want you to make it there. Where is it?
Monotoli goes on to tell them that the town of Summers is located across the ocean, and they'll need to take his helicopter to get there. Next, they're outside of the helipad atop the giant hotel, where suddenly the helicopter they were about to board takes flight without them.
Uh-oh.
Pokey pokes his head out the side, as all helicopters have retractable passenger windows, and yells,
Hey, Ness, you pin-headed idiot. You're just a half step too slow. I'm getting out of here since Minotoli has become a plain old man again. I have no more use for him. Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Then Pokey flies off. Back inside, Minotoli says,
Pokey took the helicopter. Well, I hope he's okay.
"Aw, that's nice of him." Okay. This is all really crazy. Okay, this is crazy.
It's nuts.
The town's name is Summers. It is not Fiveton. It's not Fivesville.
It's
not even
not.
Five Land. Summers. Yeah.
Summers.
looks like old Trav and Caleb was back. Looks like we've won our way back to the clever crown, Travis.
Heck
Earthbound.
yeah, man.
Earthbound just like gave up. It's like, you guys are too good.
And I want to point out, they also didn't have the fucking balls to down that helicopter with a boy inside of it.
Yeah.
We would have.
Yeah. We've been around so many helicopters crashing that it's kind of odd, right? That it
Kinda
like we're
weird.
the common denominator there. It's probably our fault. Oh man. Okay. To get to Summers, they'll need to backtrack to Threed and repair the flying saucer that Jeff crash landed in that cave, and take it back to Winters, where the scientist he got it from, Dr. Andonuts, resides. Dr. Andonuts is also Jeff's dad, by the way.
Huh. Somewhere that court-appointed psychiatrist just nodded very understandingly. Yes, quite, yeah.
Dr. Andonuts can help them modify the machine in order to make it to Summers. Back at the crash site inside the cave, and after some tinkering, the flying saucer sputters to life, and off to Winters they go. In and out of the clouds, the three kids touch their saucers down in Winters, just near the lab. And Dr. Andonuts greets them.
Oh, you surprised me, yes. I grew up a little bit in Onett, and then I moved out to this place, so that explains the accent. Oh, you surprised me. You're Ness, aren't you? Oh, Jeff, he wets his bed sometimes, but other than that, he's a good boy.
Jeez, I think that's an early sign of a serial killer. I mean, other signs include keeping a gun at school and having a slave monkey. This is the least a court-appointed therapist has ever had to work.
And to be fair, telling your son's new friends, totally unprovoked, that your son wets the bed is a pretty shitty thing to do. I think this is the case of causation, not correlation here.
Sure.
I'd want to murder some people too, if my dad pulled this Dr. Andonut shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dr. Andonuts agrees to fix the saucer so that it can reach Summers, and once it's ready, the kids hop in and take flight. They crash land just outside the beach of Summers. The flying saucer does not survive.
This game would be 7 hours shorter if anyone knew how to gently land a fucking saucer. All we do is find parts to fix this bell dang thing.
Summers is a beach town, and is basically the opposite of Winters. Yeah, you get it.
I get it.
It's full of surfers, surf shops, nice resorts, and sand.
Oh.
Before saving the world a little more, they decide to hit up some touristy spots and make their way to the local museum. Part of the museum is under renovation, but the security guard says he might be convinced to let them see what's in that part if he were to say, I don't know, come into some nice jewelry. Hint, hint. Curious about what could be hidden in the back, the kids set out to steal some jewelry for him.
PSA time. A reminder
Number 3,
to,
I think.
Yes, thank you for that. A reminder to all kids out there, and I know you're listening. Once again, if a man dressed as a security guard says he accepts bribes to let you see the quote-unquote back of a place, it's not going to be what you think it is. Run.
Mm-hmm. Around town looking for shiny trinkets to lift, they keep hearing people talk about the town of Scaraba, located across the sea.
Scaraba, notably, not referencing a number. They really went off the rails here.
Yeah. Fucking respect. Respect us.
Yeah.
Earthbound. It's a mysterious town with a giant pyramid and is said to be guarded by a kraken. We'll worry about that later. For now, we need to see what's in the closed-off area of the museum, damn it! Kids love closed-off areas of museums!
They must.
The kids decide that the town's swanky hotspot, the Stoic Club, would breed plenty of opportunities for snagging some fine-ass jewelry. They call ahead, of course, to make reservations.
Hi, yes, table for 3 children at your swanky nightclub, please.
There at the nightclub, yes, they were let in very easily. They run into a girl who offers them, quote, magic cake. Assuming this is code for drugs, the kids get excited, as kids would. She says to meet her at her cart down at the beach later. They do, and Ness buys some of this sweet magic cake. And seconds later, he's in a strange dream that takes place somewhere called Dahlem, at the Palace of Pooh. In this dream, he is observing Prince Pooh himself.
I know. Pooh is funny, but we need to get serious for a second because we got PSA number 4 coming in real hot. Listen here, kids. If someone on a windy beach near a rickshaw offers you magic cake, it is code for drugs, and if it's free, you should at least try a little of it.
Remember when I said Pooh earlier, though?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was fun.
Okay, straight face, Van Damme. So Prince Pooh is a boy with a shaved head, save for one section that has sprouted a ponytail.
Wild.
Yeah. Pooh has been training for something called Moo, and his Moo training is nearly complete, as he has just one final trial remaining at some mysterious location called the Place of Emptiness. Prince Pooh wanders down the mountain and makes his way to an area where he often meditates. His meditation is interrupted by a voice from the clouds, the voice of a little girl. She tells him he must go back with her. He can't complete his final trial yet.
Man, way to throw off my guy's vibe, Paula. Jeez.
However, suddenly the spirit of Pooh's ancient lineage comes into his mind and asks Pooh if he can break Pooh's legs. Well, Pooh, he accepts. Then the voice asks to break his arms, and Pooh accepts. Then it asks to remove his ears, and Pooh accepts. Finally, his eyes, and Pooh accepts. He is then transported back to the real world where his master tells him that he has completed his training. Well, that was surprisingly easy.
Yeah, maybe she didn't throw off his vibe. Dude was open to anything. That was the equivalent of like answering C for everything in a multiple choice exam and still pass it.
And you might think Pooh would hesitate to have his legs, arms, ears, and eyes destroyed, but see, Pooh is smart. He probably noticed other people who've been through the same trial still have all their parts, and so deduces that, all this Moo stuff is probably bullshit.
Yeah, or that. That's probably a better explanation.
Back at the palace, his master tells him that an evil entity that controls all wickedness is preparing an attack, and the only ones who can stop it are 3 boys and a girl. He says it just like that, the same way.
No cups. He notably mentions no cups.
Pooh, but there's Pooh there. There's 3 boys, a girl, and Pooh. Pooh is one of the boys and must go find Ness, the leader of the 4. No, so it's 2 boys, a girl, and Pooh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 girls, 1 boy, and a Pooh. It's a good thing that Pooh has all his limbs. It would be tough to fight an evil entity otherwise. I mean, it's like, Pooh, are you cosplaying as second base? Where are your arms and your legs? What are you doing? Can't fight.
Ness, Jeff, and Paula are standing on the beach when a boy with a strange ponytail and an otherwise shaved head approaches and tells them that his name's Pooh. Ness immediately, first he giggles for a while, for a long time, actually. Long enough, really, to get the fact that, his name is Pooh, to remind the player. Mm-hmm. But then Ness immediately responds with, Guess what? Jeff pees his pants a lot. Otherwise, Ness and Jeff don't ask any questions and assume Pooh's arrival as Paul is doing, probably with her brain magic.
Probably.
They head back to the museum, bribing the guard to enter a remodeled section that thankfully turns out not to be a pedo dungeon.
Sweet.
And there they find a stone slab etched with hieroglyphics or something. I don't know. The slab describes invaders arriving every millennium who hide beyond space and time. To stop them, they need to, quote, pierce the darkness, unquote, and the key to doing so is inside the Sphinx located in the city of Scaraba. To get inside the Sphinx, they'll need to dance in front of it.
Okay, that part was at least written by a pedophile.
Yeah. It might not be a pedo dungeon, but it definitely has a pedo entrance. Or like, on the way out of the museum, the phone at the front desk rings, and with no one around to answer it, the kids pick up the receiver. It's the curator of the Fourside Museum. Huh.
And to be a lot of museums going on around here. To be clear, we're currently in the Summers Museum getting a call from the Fourside Museum.
Yeah. Yes, and this person on the other line says that he has something extraordinary, and they must come and see it. The kids head over, but discover the museum guard won't let them enter unless they get him an autograph of his favorite singer.
Here we go again.
Shit, fucking fetch quests. So they go to get the autograph on a banana.
Huh.
And satisfied somehow, he lets them enter the room he's guarding and tells them that his big extraordinary secret is that there's a big rat down in the sewer. They go down and hunt the big rat.
These kids have dodged a dark fate time after time. They might be the easiest kids to lure I've ever heard about. And sure, we'll go hunt your rat. Might as well. We're already down here. Let's go get it.
The kids trudge through the sewer, fighting regular-sized rats, trash monsters, cockroaches, all the while wading through neck-deep flowing excrement before finally finding a big rat who announces himself as the Plague Rat of Doom.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, a talking rat. That's fucking nuts, man. Paula and Jeff freeze him with magic while Jeff shoves a bottle rocket into its anus and explodes into 1,000 shards of very stinky ice.
Whoa, Jeff, dude.
Yeah. Speaking of very stinky, okay, we've got to take a break for our sponsor. I tried warning you guys a little bit. Travis, I read a transcript of this ad already.
Yeah?
It's a bit of a doozy. Strap in, all right?
Oh, buddy. I am strapped. I can't wait. I'm actually excited.
Tamper that excitement down a little bit. Hey, podcast listeners, it's me, the advertiser. Look, I'm going to be frank with you here. Look, I've advertised a lot of bad businesses over the years here on Tales of the Lesser Medium. I mean, who could forget, right? Who could forget the Half-Life episode, right? When I was hawking Skid Slippery's beast grease. I was so high. Then, in the Half-Life 2 episode 1 episode that I said episode twice there, I tried to get you to buy brand Reactor Spectral. Yeah, who could forget that, huh? Oh, and also, who could forget when I advertised my Lancer business on the Gears of War episode? Well, apparently, all of you assholes can forget that I advertised that because I'm fucking broke, guys. I'm really broke. Really, really broke. I spent all of my money on way too many vastly disparate businesses while investing very little in advertising. I thought it might be like a cool FOMO thing, like the exclusivity of only being able to hear my company's advertisements on this one podcast. Well, that was fucking dumb. So, I spent my last few dollars on this very ad that you're listening to right now, where I'm here to advertise nothing. I've got nothing. I mean, I guess I've got one idea left. I can try advertising for that one idea. You know, here it is. I'm gonna be nice, guys. I'm gonna tell you the idea how, and just positive vibes. Okay, like, you know how people, when they're opening up their magazines that they get, right? Because the people who read magazines, they open those up, and the thing they love the most is getting a whiff of overpowering cologne and perfume samples. It's the best. Well, what if instead of cologne and perfume samples, the samples smell like vomit? That's right, human vomit, right? And what if the samples were in the shape of trading cards? So you're actually encouraged to share the smell of human barf with friends and family. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. And what's that? All right, I'm being told by this guy over here next to me, who I've also paid from a terrible investment, paid a guy just to listen to me all the time. He's telling me that that's already been done. Oh, well, fuck. And it was done as part of an advertising campaign for the video game Earthbound. Huh.
Oh.
All right, well, did it work? Okay, he's saying no. All right. Are we still talking about Earthbound today, though, right? That's still happening, right? No? Okay, no. Only two idiots with a podcaster are still talking about the game, huh? Oh, well, what podcast? Maybe I should advertise on that podcast. Oh, fuck, it's this one. God damn it.
I completely forgot that they advertised the vomit sniffies.
Oh, man, I don't. That's a highlight of my childhood. I was so happy. Even as a kid, I was super enamored with this idea of, like, impossible products that dare you to, like, want to use them. I was like, this is clever.
So you got to smell it?
Yeah, I got to smell it. Did it get me to ask my mom for Earthbound for Christmas? Fuck no.
No.
No, I wasn't into it. But yeah, that's weird that I hope our advertiser stays around, though. I hope this isn't his last one. I hope he happens upon a few more ideas.
I think he's great. I hate that he hasn't had any lucrative success, but
I think he might be great. I don't think he's doing great. You know the difference? Anyway, so where were we? All right, so we're something about, like, we're fighting rats in sewers. That's right. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. So out the exit beyond the rat is the next soundstone. They record it and move on.
And you just imagine waiting through all that icky poopy to fight a rat. Good thing that soundstone was there. What a treat.
I think I like to call my butt a soundstone. It's what filled up the sewer with poop to begin with. It's like a circle of life kind of thing.
I guess. Speaking
of poo, he probably then says, "Wow, you guys are looking for soundstones. There's one back where I live, and it's not covered in well." I chuckle at my name too. It's not covered in poo. Because then Paula, he probably says this because Paula then immediately teleports them to Dalam, where Pooh's palace is.
Oh.
They successfully seek out another soundstone hidden in a cave at the foot of Pooh's mountain.
Yeah, and if you're keeping count at home, and we probably skipped at least one, if not three, but we think that's about 6 soundstones, and we're going to need about 2 more.
So the kids go back to Summers Beach and pay a sailor $20 to take them back to Scaraba, where the Sphinx they'll need to dance in front of is just hanging out waiting for some kids to dance in front of it. Now, this sailor warns them that they might see a kraken on their voyage.
Then that better be a promise. If I'm sailing the open seas and it takes a long time, you get scurvy, there's not a ton of pizza going on, I assume. I better get at least 1 sea monster sighting. I'm going to be, I mean, that's a very bad Yelp review out of me.
So Jeff promises to tame the Kraken, just like, and I quote, I dominate that bitch-ass Nessie you're fucking with my horny monkeys flow.
I think you wrote that, or it was in the game. It really, I know, now that I'm thinking, it really stood out.
Yeah, I did say quote, and every time I've said quote in the past, it has been directly from the game. So.
Sure, 100%, yeah.
The sailor is right. He knows the water and shit, like sailors do. Midway on their voyage, the Kraken appears, but it's no match for our gang. Paula hits it with freeze magic while Jeff unloads a few clips into its head, causing it to release the boat and sink like a rock to the sea floor. Finally, they reach the coastal, sandy, Egyptian-themed city of Scaraba and make their way south across the desert. Just beyond a few sandstone pyramids rests the giant sphinx they need to dance in front of. Turns out, they just needed to hit a few tiles in the correct order, all Nathan Drake style, and in doing so, doors at the foot of a nearby pyramid just swing open for them.
Oh, man, they don't even get to go inside the Sphinx. That's what I thought was going to happen the whole time, but they get to go next door to the Sphinx. That's a bummer. And it's a shame, really, that it was just a tile puzzle, because you know old Jeff Ando Nuts spent a ton of time choreographing that dance they were going to do on the way over on the ship ride. All that effort, completely wasted.
The inside of the pyramid is guarded by all the enemy tropes you'd expect, like snakes and mummies. They kill any living thing that crosses their path before exiting out above ground further into the middle of the desert. Here, they are greeted by a strange old man who tells Pooh that meeting him here has fulfilled his own destiny.
As a pedophile might say.
PSA number, I don't know, what are we up to, like 5?
Bunch.
Like
yeah, handful.
Pooh must leave with the old man now and stay with him, as the old man says, so that he can learn an attack called a Starstorm.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback number 5 here and go a little bit more in depth. And I hate to be a downer. I know people are having a good time here, but this is yet another reminder to our young listeners out there. If an adult tells you to come stay with them so they can teach you the powers of sorcery, ask your dad first. It's more than likely just a trick to get you in their sex ring. And either way, Pooh isn't gone long and rejoins the group a bit later, but he's pretty reluctant to speak about anything that happened to him while he was gone, and we're left wondering why.
I think the pedophiles hang out in the same, trance that Pooh was in with the Moo stuff, because they wait by the things until, the kid in the trance no longer has the ability to speak or see or hear, and now they're like, jackpot, and they jump in. That's when the pedophiles get in there. And
you always know when a pedophile is near because you can often hear them yell, jackpot.
That's how you know. You hear him say it right before you agree to have your ears cut off, and it's you're a little pissed, you're a little upset about it, but you know. Fast forward, the kids uncover enough clues to lead them back to Stonehenge, where they descend down through a passage hidden in the center. After hours of winding mazes through dark caves, they end up in some type of underground facility, and whatever is going on here seems to be in upheaval. It's overrun with monsters, alarms are sounding, and lights are flashing. In one room, they find a few people they've met in previous towns are now trapped in incubation tubes.
Ugh.
In the next room is a Starman, a common enemy type thus far, but this one is sitting on a throne. He tells the kids they are more capable than his alien race first realized, and then proceeds to fight them anyway. The kids gang up and maul the alien Starman to death with a barrage of attacks.
Yeah, that guy stood no chance. Jeff even cuts out one of its eyes and wears it on his necklace.
With the Starman now dead, the underground alien stronghold begins to quake, and the Stonehenge base ceases functioning. Back in the tube room, all the people are free of their tube-like death chambers. One base of operations may be defeated, but the big bad still looms, that being Gary Gygas. Anyway, skipping ahead, the kids learned of a deadly swamp on a tropical island just off the coast of Scaraba. Deadly swamps sound neat, so they head in that direction.
Yeah, and hey, maybe there's a sound stone there. Only one way to find out.
Yeah, and if not, cool deadly swamp.
Mm-hmm.
There they find a cave, but further progress is guarded by a tribe of very shy creatures. Ness brings them a book on how to overcome shyness he picked up at the library on a whim, and they let him pass.
And guess what? On the far end of the cave, they do find the 7th Soundstone. What luck! And not only that, but here, in this cave, all of Ness's thoughts are written on the cave wall in front of him in real time, which naturally creeps him out. Because you know, what if he gets an intrusive thought right there in front of Paula or something? That would be no good. So they leave. But I still oftentimes think of that magic cave wall. How cool would it be to think up silly words and make the cave wall show it? I could be easily amused, but I mean, that's fun, right? You think like fart whistle, and then it shows up on the cave wall. That'd be awesome. Just me, no? Okay.
I'm on board. I don't think I trust myself with that power, though.
No, I'd need to be alone with it.
But maybe they should have stayed in the mind-reading cave, because dropping down into the next tunnel spits them out into a prehistoric area where dinosaurs abound and primitive tribes live in makeshift domiciles.
Uh-oh.
The good news is that all the giant predatory dinosaurs are easy to kill for our gang of children. So maybe the asteroid that eventually wiped them out didn't really have to work all that hard, now that I think about it. It's like destroying Earth was just giving the asteroid with asthma and glasses an easy win on field day.
I mean,
it's like,
it seems like it.
How about you just do the frisbee toss? We'll be over there running laps on the actual track. Here you go, asteroid. Just toss this frisbee to that circle. Here's your participation ribbon for that.
Poor, weak, stupid dinosaurs.
Eventually, they come to a tribe of folks who welcome them and beg them to talk to their magic rock. And boy, does this rock love to talk. The rock, a.k.a. Dwayne Johnson, essentially reiterates to Ness that he's the chosen one to save the universe and play the lead in Black Adam.
Wow. No pressure. No pressure.
The rock then tells Ness where all 7 Soundstones he should have up until now are, just in case he missed one.
Sure.
Then the rock tells him the last one is located near here in a place called a fire spring, which is, yeah, you guessed it, the inside of a volcano.
The inside of a volcano.
Okay, good. Yes, you guessed it. Hey, good job, Travis.
Thank you.
The kids find the volcano, march through, and bludgeon to death all the things living inside the volcano, which are just evil elemental magic beings, since nothing can actually live in a volcano.
Sure.
And they get the Soundstone. Now the kids have all 8. Bring it on, Gary Gygax.
I want to say it's just Gygas. Could be wrong about that.
You're allowed to say what you want, Travis. With all 8 stones, Ness has a vision. He's stoned, so to speak.
Yeah.
He's transported back to the day of his birth. At least it's not the day of his conception. That would have been weird.
Oof.
Yeah, just the day of his birth.
Dad, you had scrambled eggs before you tapped it? That's a little weird.
His parents, during too, which is his parents decide Ness is the right name for him, at which baby Ness smiles. They place a red cap on him and giggle at how cute he is. He looks in that big old hat.
Which is a great Norm Macdonald bit, to say the least.
His folks think he'll grow to be a hard worker, maybe not rich or famous, but a thoughtful and strong boy. Then one parent says, "Oh, that's odd. The baby bottle is..."
He's screaming.
He's very happy. He's happy about his kid, goddammit. It's a brand new kid, brand new baby. You've had a brand new baby.
Sure.
When your baby was born, you couldn't control the volume of your voice either.
I often screamed in Minnesotan.
Then one parent says, "That's odd. The baby bottle that he pointed at seems to have moved a bit."
Oh no, sentient baby bottle. Kill it with fire. No, I'm kidding. He's got bottle moving, spoon bending powers or some shit, I bet.
Next, Ness is transported to a nightmare where he is tiny in a garden of large vegetables.
Soundstones are a hell of a drug, I'm realizing.
The people in his dream are mostly familiar to him. His sister tells him that he needs to go to the center of the Sea of Eden, a place in his mind, to find himself.
You know, the inside of Ness's mind is bizarro world. I mean, he could really use Jeff's court-appointed psychiatrist, I think.
At one point, he descends down into the depths of his mind and squares off once again against the Kraken. In fact, it's a nest of Krakens.
Oh.
But was once a formidable foe, now submits pretty quickly to Ness's hardened bravery. He doesn't have his friends there to help either. Ness is a fucking badass.
Woo, yeah.
Further into the depths, he reaches a shiny gold statue, and the statue says, I'm the evil part of your brain. You can't beat me because you are the one who forced me into being.
That doesn't make any sense. My dad always told me, I brought you into this world and I can take you out. So I think that would apply here.
However, Ness does defeat the evil part of his brain. Pretty easily, in fact. His doubts, his worries, those are gone now. A familiar voice rings out telling Ness that Gygas can destroy the universe, but reminds Ness he's the chosen one to stop the evil. The voice tells him where he needs to go next. Saturn Valley, where the Kurt Vonnegut knows people live. Ness is then filled with the power of the 8 Soundstones, and his psychic powers radically expand to make Ness the most powerful being who ever lived on Earth. It's time to fuck shit up.
It's about time this game got fun.
Yeah. It's about time this episode got exciting. Here we go, reader.
Let me get my shirt off for this. Okay,
I'm glad this is an audio meeting. I didn't know you had 7 nipples. You're like an octopus, almost.
Only 2 of them are tattoos.
You got to make the other ones not feel left out. I get it.
Yeah.
Ness wakes up inside the volcano, his friends staring down at him, wondering if he's okay. He catches them up on the visions, and they head to Saturn Valley to talk to Dr. Andonitz, Jeff's dad, and the guy who got their UFO working, who has now developed a phase distorter that will let them travel through time to get to Gygas.
Yeah, it seems like they have been traveling through time up until now. I want to remind folks, we just met dinosaurs.
Not just met, but murdered the fuck out of them.
We murdered a lot of dinosaurs. Yes,
yeah.
You're right.
Well, this will let them travel through time on purpose, we assume, anyway. The phase distorter needs Zexonite to operate, and they don't have any because it comes from meteorites. Great news, though. A meteorite landed near Ness's house a few days ago. Huh?
I remember that!
Yeah, it's coming back. So they head back there to extract some of the rare mineral. Dr. Andonitz says he will give them the phase distorter just as soon as they return his UFO. Uh-oh. Not really, no. No, he just doesn't give a shit about that super expensive thing that he let the kids just borrow. Not have, just borrow. But no, I mean, it's totally fine. It's cool, kids.
Yeah, I mean, he's a smart man, but Dr. Andonitz takes news about the end of the world in some pretty relaxed stride. And he knows damn well those kids have never successfully landed that motherfucker. They crash it every time, lucky to be alive, yet he still lets them go out there.
So they go back to the meteorite site near Ness's home, pluck out the mineral, and return to Dr. Andonitz with their fanny packs full of Zexonite.
All right.
Now they're ready to go. Dr. Andonitz explains that in order to defeat Gygas, who is attacking them from the past, they must warp to the past. However, the machine cannot warp living things because life is demolished in the process of warping. I guess roll credits, right?
Yeah.
Well, he has a plan. See, to overcome this, they have to transfer their bodies to robots first, or rather program their minds into robots and then send the robots to the past. Their spirit leaves their bodies behind, essentially. Dr. Andonitz makes sure they understand that by going through with this, there is no guarantee they can be brought back as people again. The courageous kids go through with it anyway. They hop into the phase distorter, which is a spaceship shaped like the nose-faced Saturn people, and it warps them away.
Yeah, and I just want to do a little quick recap here. Kids have been transformed into robots and are flying through time inside a nose.
Oh, that was quick. That was nice.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
As cute metal robots, they are transported to a strange realm in the past wrought with evil, otherworldly enemies, before finally reaching an enormous one-eyed squid-like alien being. This must be Gygas.
Hopefully.
From the darkness emerges none other than Pokey, piloting a hovering insect. Pokey taunts them, saying he doesn't care what the prophecy says, that they will be beaten by Gygas because Pokey will be helping him. He says,
Prophecy? Come on, man, fuck your prophecy. Gygas is no longer the wielder of evil. He has become the embodiment of evil itself, which he cannot control on his own. He is the evil power.
Ness and the 3 other kids square off against Pokey and Gygas at the same time. They balance their attacks to both foes. Jeff shoves bottle rockets into Gygas' eyes. Paulo whacks Pokey's hovering insect with a frying pan over and over until its one eye manages to somehow cross. Pokey halts the fight to say,
Hey, whoa, guys. Hey, hold up. Time out. Time out, guys. I understand you guys are already claiming to be heroes. Well, it is a gazillion years too early for you to oppose Gygas, okay? You must feel pretty stupid to keep fighting without even knowing what Gygas looks like. If you were ever to see Gygas, you'd be, oh my God, you'd be so petrified with fear you'd never be able to run away. That's how scary it is. So you want me to turn off the devil's machine? Well, prepare to be amazed.
The eye of what they thought was Gygas disappears. The world around them etherealizes. Is this hell? Pokey keeps taunting him.
Hee-haw. Isn't this so terrifying? And you know what, guys? Listen, honestly, seriously, I'm a little terrified too. I just peed a little bit. But Gygas cannot think rationally anymore. He isn't even aware of what he's doing right now. You know, his own mind was destroyed by his incredible power. What an almighty idiot. Hoi.
Pokey then leaves. The kids square off against an invisible force and struggle to find an attack that does any damage to this new invisible phase of Gygas. Can Gygas even feel pain? Pooh uses his Starstorm psychic ability that he got from this strange desert pedophile. And it works.
Jackpot.
+1 for pedophiles. Pokey reappears to taunt them further, telling Ness to call his mommy and daddy and tell them how frightened he is. He says,
Hey, guy, don't you have, like, telepathy or something, or telephony, or something like that? Just try to call for help or something like that, you pathetically weak heroes of so-called joysticks, hoi.
This gives Paula an idea. As Pokey steps aside and the fight against Gygas resumes, she sends up a prayer from the bottom of her heart, uttering, "Please give us strength. If it's possible, please, somebody help us." In a world separated by space and time, all of the Saturn knows folks start feeling a strange feeling. So together, they pray for Ness and his friends. Gygas reacts in pain. Paula prays again, and this time one of the Runaway Five stops in their tracks and begins to pray fervently for the safety of Ness and his friends. Gygas once again reacts in pain. Paula extends prayers that are answered by her father and the kids at Polestar Daycare, Tony, Jeff's old roommate, a young woman from Pooh's home of Dahlem, and even Nessa's mother. Finally, just when Paula is desperate for someone else to give them strength and answer the prayer, we did. We prayed, Travis.
What? We did?
We did.
Yeah. Of course we did. Hey, what did your prayer sound like?
Mine started with, please make this fucking game stop.
It started with, what did it end with?
It was just me saying, please make this fucking game
Oh, you
end.
just repeated that a bunch.
Yeah, I just did that. Like, can you make this stop?
Wow, I did like a full-on like Lord's Prayer. Like I was in on it. I thought it was great. I was like, sweet Kratos, God of War, please smile down on Ness, Paula, Jeff, and of course the strange Pooh boy, and give them strength to defeat this evil, invisible force that threatens all of humanity. I mean, please, Kratos, with your manliness, your bare chest, your refusal to cut the camera away from your strong back. Please lend some, just some, of your godlike power to our wizard children. We beg of you, amen. That was mine.
And when you were doing this as a child, were your parents watching?
No, I was easily 33.
Okay, got it. Good. So is your wife watching?
She doesn't come near me.
That's, well, you've done this before then, probably. Okay, that makes sense.
Every night before bed, yeah. Sweet Kratos.
Gygas, after all this praying that's happening in this Nintendo game, which historically they've been against religious connotations in games, whatever. Somehow they allowed this one. I guess that was the only way to defeat evil.
Sure.
So Gygas, he just rips apart and fades away. And Pokey then reemerges to say,
Yes. Now, it's going to seem like I'm running away, but I got Pooh a little bit. But perhaps I'll just sneak away to another era to think about my next plan. What about that? What if I did that? It's a good bet we'll see each other again, given that, basically we're neighbors and whatnot. But, all right, I'll be seeing you. So now, which one of us do you think is the cool guy? Huh?
And then Pokey just disappears. This is gone. The red hellscape where they fought Gygas fades to static. Their souls leave their robot bodies and rejoin their real bodies in Saturn Valley. They friggin' did it. They defeated Gygas.
We did it. Fuck yeah.
They defeated Gygus and survived to tell about it. Proof that thoughts and prayers works. That's the message, right?
I think so. I mean, most of the time when I tell people I'll have them in my thoughts, what I really mean is that their bad news bummed me out super hard, and I want to forget about them and their plight as soon as possible. But I mean, if it works, it works.
Right. If a placebo works, who's to say you shouldn't be taking a placebo, right?
Yeah, guzzling them.
In the aftermath, Pooh returns to Dahlem. Jeff tells Paula and Ness that if they ever get married, he'll be happy to fix their broken electronic appliances.
How sweet.
That is sweet. He ends up sticking around the lab to learn more from his dad, Dr. Andonitz. Ness escorts Paula home. Paula thanks him and says there's something she wanted to tell him, but she's forgotten what it was, and says goodbye.
Huh. I wonder what it was. I'm not sure if we ever find out, but I'm sure it was probably something like, I love you, or please report Polestar to the FBI. This is a cry for help. Or like, how do you think I can get a court-appointed psychiatrist? Because golly gee, do I need one after all these murders?
Once home, Nessa's mom remarks about how strong he looks now and wants him to tell her everything he's been up to while he was away. Over the phone, Nessa's dad promises he'll be home in time for his birthday next week.
Yeah. Then strangely called him his favorite little Pisces before hanging up. I don't know.
After the credits roll, Ness wakes up to loud knocking at the door. It's Picky, Pokey's little brother.
Huh.
He says that he received a letter from Pokey that was addressed to Ness, which is weird. Why not just send it directly to Ness's address? Anyway, it reads,
Come and get me, loser. Spankety, 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 spankety.
the end.
The end.
That's how this goddamn game ends.
Dang, man. What a fun game. I love this game.
It is a fun game. It was my, this, and I think paired with Super Mario RPG on SNES.
Yeah.
Those are like the two RPG awakenings for me as a youngin'.
Yeah, this one is one of my favorites. Everything from the color to the fact that it takes place in like a modern society that I can relate to, and it's funny. It really is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was a little worried about covering this one because I'm like, how do you sort of do what we do with a game that already kind of makes light of its environment? But I mean, clearly we found a way. But it is a very enjoyable game to play.
Yeah, my only trick was to do one of the three voices I have at different times, and that seems to work all right.
Yeah, I combined all of mine into one. I did, that one.
That was good. That was a journey. That was a roller coaster. Oh man, it was delicious. I loved it.
Yeah. What'd you think story-wise? Did you, like, when you played the game, was all this apparent to you? Or, because a lot of times when we do these episodes, I'm like, I missed a ton when I played this.
Yeah, I think this one, at least from what I remember, I haven't played it since I was a kid, but from what I do remember, it was very, I feel like the beats were pretty obvious, although I do remember being I didn't quite understand why we had to go back to so many worlds that we had previously visited. Most games are very much forward progression. You never go back to a thing. And so this being one of the earlier RPGs, because I know that's kind of an RPG trope, is you kind of sometimes will revisit old places and with new powers, and it'll be like, at the time, I do remember thinking like, God, what a bunch of lazy designers. They just make me go back to these same places they've already created.
Yeah.
Idiots, I like that. Idiots.
However old you were, I'm going to say 10-year-old Caleb, critiquing design at an early age. I mean, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, you're right. I play a certain role, don't I?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like the kind of the roundabout it never seems to make sense when you're doing. You're just like, I got to go where? I usually turn to a walkthrough because I'm like, I have to go back to a place I've already been. Mm-hmm. But basically, in this game, it's just you got to find parts for that freaking spaceship you keep crashing.
Yeah, maybe you should have just learned how to fly a spaceship.
Would have been so much easier if Dr. Andonutz had taught us that.
It's true.
Well, a good episode, a good game. Man, everybody should play it. If you haven't played it, play it. I mean, if you haven't played it and you listen to this, that's weird, but
yeah. Thank you for making it this far. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about time we do a good game. It's been a while, right?
Uncharted was great.
That's true. There's been a lot of Gears was great. Resident Evil's great. Tomb Raider's okay. You know what? Okay. I take it back. We mostly do good games.
Except for Tomb Raider. No, I agree with that one. All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap us up. We hit one, we knocked one out of the park here early in the new year. I want to say, Caleb, I was looking at some stats for the podcast, and if our hosting service is to be believed, which we use Buzzsprout, and thank you, Buzzsprout, you're a great service. They said we only released 5 episodes last year, and I don't think that's nearly enough. I'd like to do more than that this year. I want to get upwards of 6, if not 6.5 episodes out this year.
Wow, I wish you would have talked to me about this before saying it live on air, because I would have vehemently disagreed with you. But now all I can say is, sure. I was hoping to go less. I was hoping to go like 2.
Wow, 2? Just this one and
just this one and one more. We'll save for.
Weird how I had needed your help there to count to 2, but this one and one more would make 2.
Yeah, I mean, if we could, if you're open to the idea of doing half episodes, 1.5, I'm okay with.
If we do half episodes, we could get 2 more in before we get to 2.
No, but those are still like half an episode.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they would still be. What are we at now? 2 hours? 2 hours long, half episodes, right? Or maybe to meet half. Let's meet halfway, right? Like you want to do more episodes, I want to do way fewer. What if we do a total of 5 episodes, but each episode is a series of 3/4 or 3 1/3 long episodes.
This sounds like a lot of work. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down for it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well,
awesome.
I will give the listener some good news in that there are 2 basically full scripts written. I just need to play the 3rd game in a series and write that one up, and then we have 3 more episodes just hot ready, just Little Caesars ready to go. So
can't wait to spend $5 for that.
I know. I do. I mean, $5.55 now, but it's not bad. You know?
Shit,
man.
Never mind.
If you're hammered, get you some Little C's. That's what I call it, some C's. All right, well, everyone, that concludes yet another Tales episode. As always, this is the same stuff over and over again. Be sure to subscribe. I don't know how you found it if you weren't, to be honest, but do it if you haven't. And stay tuned for more episodes. We don't release like a regular podcast. It takes a while to get these going, but we promise there will be at least halves more, if not full ones more, at some point.
And if you're still listening to this end of episode blathering on and on, then you must like the episode, right? Like you wouldn't be sitting through this right now if you didn't like the episode, or maybe you're driving and you shouldn't, mess with your podcast while you're driving. You're a safe driver. Either way, you should review us. So please do that on the podcast catcher that you are listening to right now, Apple, Spotify, whatever out there. Rate and review us. We really, really appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, you can reach out to us on Twitter. You can reach out to the show at Tales Lesser on Twitter. You can reach out to me personally at Caleb J. Ross. You can reach out to Travis at Trav Plays Games.
That's right. You can also send us an angry email about anything that, we got wrong or we omitted, or preferably that you loved and you specifically laughed at and you appreciated. We'd love to hear all that, your angries and your happies. You can send that over to polykillpodcast@gmail.com. You're like, Polykill Podcast, what in the tarnation is that? That's not Tales of the Lesser Medium. Well, you can, it's a thing. But if you want to find out what Polykill Podcast is, be sure to head on over to polymedianetwork.com, because that's a network that Tales of the Lesser Medium is a part of, and there's more podcasts over there that you're sure to enjoy. And we also, before we get out of here, want to thank Brad Sucks for our intro and outro theme. Thank you, Brad Sucks. You do not suck.
And thank you, listener, for doing what you do, which is listening.
And the tale has been told.